of all, and most of all, we're really thankful for everyone who is watching us, who is supporting Ukraine, for all the help, the donations, and everything that you are doing. And we've been approached by so many Americans sharing their love and support for Ukraine, for Ukrainian win. But we wish the Biden administration had the same vision and had the same will to see Ukraine succeed and Ukraine to win. In order for that, Ukraine needs sufficient weapons now, not tomorrow, not in 5 years, but now. The United States has the capacity to support Ukraine and give Ukraine sufficient weapons to win. Unfortunately, there is the political bottleneck, the Biden administration unwillingness to support Ukraine. And we ask all of you who's watching, please share our message, share the message about the Lend-Lease to rate in the X, now it's called X, the Twitter, about the Lend-Lease and liking the Lend-Lease and sufficient weapons to Ukraine now, because Ukrainians need it ASAP. On the other hand, we've been approached today by a really powerful individual from the Department of Defense, and he shared some insights, and he's truly supporting Ukraine. He wanted to speak in private, sharing his views, his problems that he sees with the Ukrainian defense articles that currently is insufficiently provided to Ukraine. But on the other hand, it's a little bit too late. Why? Because we have just a little bit over 3 weeks left for the Lend-Lease law to expire. I don't want to witness that, I would call dead end, because without sufficient weapons, Ukraine has a really, I would say, tragic path to go through in order to win, paying with blood and bones. I don't know what else to say. Just I'm really basically in pain, and it's really killing me from the inside. I'm trying to do all that I can to help people in Ukraine, to protect them, protect civilian population, protect the warriors. It's really powerful guys, and I had the chance to speak with one of them, a special forces from Omega, Kiev Omega's Delta. It's pretty much a Delta force for Ukraine. His name is Vladislav Vlad, and he was unfortunately he sustained an injury, really complex one. It's been a year since he's in recovery, and he shared the same view. Our forces in Ukraine have the inner willingness to fight. Unfortunately, they don't have sufficient military articles, military equipment to succeed, and they're pretty much begging the United States to provide them the weapons they need. At the same time, Ukraine gave up their nuclear arsenal in exchange for the protection that the Biden administration is not willing to provide. So we ask you all, please join our movement. We post these videos and the links to our videos and tweet in the Twitter. Release the Lend-Lease and like the Lend-Lease and initiation the Lend-Lease.
Yes.
It matters. Your voice matters.
I would like, yes, thank you. I would like just to point the huge misinformation, disinformation. It's a lie, and we know that, for example, Center for Security Policy Andrei Illarionov checked all this financial aid for Ukraine, and despite we hear from the news that Ukraine got the biggest assistance in the Second World War, it's not true. If we go by numbers, it's far away from truth. And the delivered military assistance for Ukraine was only 19 billion from the beginning of this war. And we hear 100 million, 200 million. Ukraine didn't get it. We have official website from US government. We have Pentagon, and we can compare. Number is not matching with what we hear from the press. And in the meantime, also there is a program Lend-Lease, which is not required extra money from budget, because we can use Cold War era military equipment that already stored on US bases. And we know, for example, in California, only we have 26,000 armored vehicle ready to go, and they stay in there without any need, because some of it will be obsolete for US Army, but Ukraine could use it, and we don't need money, we can use it. 2,000 tanks, M1 Emperors, only in one Sierra Army depot. Yuri, how would you comment on this, please?
Horrible. This is just horrible to hear. And this is complete the truth. We are not taking these numbers from the thin air. These are proven numbers. They are backed by facts, by a factual basis. This is what the United States has. The United States has so many of the military equipment of the defense articles, tanks, aircraft, fighter jets, you name it. They have all of it. The United States has been prepping to fight the war with the Soviet Union, so-called Cold War. The United States spent trillions of dollars trying to fight, preparing to fight the Soviet Union. The United States had been preparing to fight the Soviet Union, to face the Soviet Union. So the the stockpiles of the weapons and military equipment are huge, more than enough to provide to Ukraine, and still have enough left to protect the United States. So it's just devastating to learn that people are I would call delusional to spread the fake news regarding the help, military, monetary help the United States supplied to Ukraine, so-called $113 billion. It's not the truth. It's not truthful. It's actually a lie. Out of 49 billion is the Center for Security Policy, and Andrei Ilarionov, he's here. For those of you who doesn't know who this guy is, he is a former chief economic advisor to President Putin himself. He was with Putin up to 2006 when he learned that this guy is no good, that this guy is evil. He left him. He has been living in the United States since 2006. He is really knowledgeable, has a doctorate degree in economics, and he's doing he's doing all that he can, trying to help Ukraine to shed light on the problem of Ukrainian military issues, the insufficient weapons, insufficient weaponry. So we should do something about it. We should be outspoken, and we should call out the liars which are claiming that the United States is giving more than enough to Ukraine, or that Ukraine is getting sufficient help. It's not the truth. It's a lie. Ukraine gets much more than it's getting, and it's getting less than 30%. Some say it's 30. Some say it's 35% of the money that the United States are committing or promising to provide. So we should help Ukraine. Why? Because if Ukraine falls, God forbid Ukraine loses the war, it's not going to stop. It is going to go into Poland, Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia. All of the people, these called military personnel, they agree with that. He will try to push even harder. He will try to restore the Soviet Union. The United States signed the NATO agreement, Article 5, and the United States will be forced to fight for those countries, send the troops. Ukrainians asking us to provide them military articles, military equipment to fight. They're not asking our troops on the ground. They're asking our tanks for our tanks, they're asking for our fighter jets, and we have more than enough to provide them. And I don't understand why the Biden administration has been so reluctant into just sending them everything they need, given that we have more than enough to provide them. So it's really difficult to speak because it's just heartbreaking. And just understanding that people are dying in Ukraine for something that the United States is sitting on, just not willing to share. Just devastating. Thousands of people are dying. Thousands, tens of thousands will die because of the insufficiency of the military equipment. I would say hundreds of thousands will die. It's more than that. More than 50,000 Ukrainian troops lost their limbs so far. Over 50,000 Ukrainian troops lost their limbs. And this number is growing. But the problem is only a single problem. The United States doesn't have the will to provide enough weapons for Ukraine.
Yes, we visiting U.S. Congress, and we have huge support. And we met Senator Kennedy from Louisiana, and he is the one who said it's in interest of United States to fight with Russia and give Ukraine all necessary weapons, and it's time to give Ukraine everything what Ukraine needs to break the back of Vladimir Putin. and
Yes.
it because this is enemy of United States. Also, Ukraine is suffering, and all we need to do, we just need to give Ukraine weapons, and we have a lot of supporters, but still President Biden not willing to give, to restart, to activate Lend-Lease. And so we basically stuck in this war because of President Biden. And there is no other way to stop this war and finish unless Ukraine will win, because Putin never gonna stop. He will stop maybe temporarily, and he will attack Ukraine again and again and again. Eventually, United States will have to fight him.
This is exactly what's going on, and it was a really pleasure speaking with Senator Kennedy. He's incredibly knowledgeable, incredible, kind-hearted guy, really smart, really brilliant, and the way he spoke to me, the way he spoke about Ukraine, the problem that Ukraine is facing. I mean, I was just almost crying. I felt like he was almost crying. And I felt the same. He's a really incredible gentleman. I had really incredible privilege meeting him, and we are really thankful for his stance on Ukraine, his stance on Ukrainian help and helping Ukraine to succeed. He told us that he will support Ukraine no matter what, and we're really proud for that, because he sees that, let's say, national interest in the United States for Ukraine to succeed. The United States spent trillions of dollars trying to be ready to face Soviet Union or Russian Federation. Ukraine can just use a portion of that money already spent to destroy the Soviet Union, to destroy the Russian Federation. And United States has more than enough to provide to Ukraine. All we are asking is give them sufficient weapons for them, in order for them to finish their job. And I really hope that it will be pushed and it will be provided to Ukraine. And I hope that the Senate and the Congress and my dear Republicans, I'm a proud Republican, I really hope that they will push the Biden administration to provide Ukraine sufficient weapons to win. All they're asking us to provide them proof for the win, and they will succeed. They will win. It's just the best way, the best return on equity, the best way the United States can use their money, use their equipment to provide to Ukraine to finish United States enemy, the Soviet Union or the Putin's Russia. Putin's Russia, it's the Russian Federation under the Putin's regime. People are really brainwashed out there. People are really not so sure what's going on. So it's really horrible.
I would like
we
to.
also have Ukraine.
Yeah, thank you, Yuri. I would like to invite everyone on September 17. There will be our 21st rally in support of Ukraine since the beginning of this year. We will be in front of White House at 1 p.m. Washington, and we invite everyone who is supporting Ukraine, who is supporting United States, because we see it's allegedly big scheme, another corruption. We can explain how only 19 billions Ukraine receives, and President Biden announcing hundreds of billions of aid. Where this all aid goes? Only 17 to 19 billions military assisted was delivered. Everything else, but allegedly, I think it's corruption, another corruption scheme. So we invite everyone who worry about this country to come to our rally, and we will have to raise awareness of the American people, because this is completely unfair to United States. It's not fair to Ukraine. Ukraine is not getting all this money. Yeah, thank you, Yuri. Subscribe to our channel and share this information, because we need more support, more people. It looks like this topic being censorship. For those who doesn't know much about Lend-Lease, that's a U.S. law that was signed by President Biden and supported by majority of Congress on May 9, 2022, and it will expire on September 30th this year. We have only 27 days left, and this law is not required extra spending of U.S. budget, because Ukraine could use all this military equipment that it was already made and stored in all this depot. For example, in one depot in Sierra Army Depot, 26,000 armored vehicle stand ready. And this is not even, if we're not talking about tanks, which also we have 2,000, the Ukraine could use only some armored vehicles. Yeah, I see. Thank you, Yuri. Big guy, where is Lend-Lease?
Yeah,
Yes,
this is the sign that the elder ladies has been holding. Big guy, where's the Lend-Lease? Exactly, where's the Lend-Lease?
yeah.
So everyone asking the same question: who's here? Where's the Lend-Lease? And we all understand that it's politics. It's really hot outside, and we have an elder lady. She's with a walker. She's been us for over 4 hours now. Even though it's really hard to stand, and pretty much we'll have to end.
Okay.
People want to go home.
Yeah, thank you
People
so
are
much.
exhausted and
Thank
tired.
you,
We're
everyone
thankful for
who
anyone,
joined
everyone
us.
who show us support, who's showing up, and God bless America, God save Ukraine, and Slava Ukraine.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who came to support Ukraine.